Drop Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Football Drop Podcast. As you'll probably see if you watch this on YouTube, there is a new face joining us, our first FDP special of 2025. Delighted to introduce Jay Tomlins. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks, lads. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to do this. Just appreciate you asking.
Honestly, we appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I think you've got about 10,000 times more subscribers than us, so you'll probably lead most of this, to be fair, Jay. But no, I'm really glad to have you on. Obviously, you've been in and around the football world for quite a while, from the content creation side of things. So before we kind of go into the content creation side, who do you support, Jay?
I am a Chelsea fan, which upsets most people, which is fun.
Okay.
I've got a nice Chelsea shirt behind me. That's my favourite. I know, as your listeners are probably like, he doesn't sound like he's from West London. What's going on there? I know that. But I've just been a Chelsea fan since, for as long as I can physically remember. My mum and dad really are not into football, like really not into it. But as a kid in England, you're like obsessed with it. So I was found like kind of looking for a club without like not really giving one, and just gravitated towards Chelsea. Apparently, the story goes that I asked my dad for permission if I was allowed to support them, and he was like, "Yeah, do what you want." And I was like, "Cool." And then since then, Chelsea fan. Love them, hate them. All that comes with football.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it. That's the story. A lot of people will instantly be like, "Glory hunter," but it is what it is. It just happened. I can't even help it now. Like, it's one of them. Like, I don't remember making the decision. I just did.
So you don't remember what helped you along with that decision, whether it was the likes of Zola and those sorts of players?
It was definitely players. It was definitely kits at the time. Like, being a kid, you're like, my favourite colour is blue. So, blue kits, Lampard, Zola, Drogba, these players, like icons, you kind of fall in love. England as well, like watching England growing up, and like, at the time, Terry and Lampard were really good for them. So I just kind of gravitated to him for that reason, yeah.
Was this pre-Abramovich?
Mate, well, it was probably like at the same time, probably post though, because I can't really remember before, to be honest.
I think I'm showing my age there with the Zola reference, and I'm
really
starting to feel my age now.
I know. I born in '97, so yeah.
Okay.
So Zola was playing as I was born.
Yeah, we'll say no more on that.
That's cut wheel deep. So it's great, Joe. It's a bit of an unconventional kind of route for you then, really, kind of going into football, not having that club that you inherit from your traditionally from your dad. How did that kind of translate for you into the content creation side of things then?
Yeah, that's a long old story, because I think for me, I've loved just YouTube, specifically YouTube, for so long. Like, I remember primary school watching YouTube, watching channels like Niga and Smosh and all those at that time, and just growing up with it at that point then, and just loving it, watching all the gaming stuff. And then I'm like, right, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to be a Call of Duty, gamer and trick shotter, and like making my own videos for that. And then doing that, I'm like buzzing. I love making videos, editing, that sort of stuff. And it just, snowballs from there. So it's like, okay, I love YouTube. I like editing. I try my hand at anything and everything. So like, I've done vlogs, I've done gaming montages, and it took me way too long to realise that I should put football and editing together, because I like both of these things. It wasn't really until university where I thought, I'll do that. And I started a podcast with my mate where we just chatted shit about football, which is always a wonderful thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds very familiar, Jay.
Yeah, it's just a fun thing to do. It's honestly brilliant. And that's it then. That was it. I was in like the world of football YouTube, and since then I've been trying to like find my way within that.
I love that. So it literally just started from, it's a passion, it's a hobby, and it's a genuine interest, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Like, just, we all have passion for football, but I feel like I've got an equal passion for content creation. So putting two together just works really well in my favour.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what sort of helped you then in your journey of like that content creation? Was there anything that you did externally, or was it literally just doing it kind of day in, day out, and just hands-on experience?
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Just doing it. Like, I think if I was to give anyone any advice, it'd just be doing it. Because, you know, I've had a few mates say, like, how do you know how to do that bit of editing, or how do you know how to do that? It's just like, because I've been doing it since I was like 12. Like, it's because I've been editing since I was, you know, doing Call of Duty stuff. And back then, that's when I was rubbish, you know? And it's like, you can grow on the skill. So for me, it's just doing it. Like, you have to love it. You have to love it, because you can't do it for that long without loving it. So yeah, just for me, it's just been chipping away, different channels, different kind of content, and yeah, that's what's got me to this point.
Because it's quite painstaking, isn't it, doing the editing and watching things and then going back and then editing it and then watching it and going through it all over again. So you need time. But I guess sort of since you started doing it to now, technology has advanced so much, and it must be a little bit easier, dare I say?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's got easier because the stuff has got easier to use, but also, like, I'm starting to feel like, you know, CapCut comes in and now anyone can edit wicked videos, and I'm like, but I've been learning how to do that for like the last 10 years. Like, what? That's not fair. But yeah, no, yeah, definitely gotten easier, and obviously the more, like, yeah, it's like what I love about it actually is how it's like a learning curve, because you know, I used the same camera for like 5 years and I just got a new one, and now I'm rubbish again because I don't know how to use it. So I've got to learn how to use this to be good again. But I kind of like that, you know.
I suppose that keeps it quite interesting, keeps you engaged in everything a little
Yeah,
bit more,
exactly.
keeps you on your toes and top of your game, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. That's how I think that's the way, because like you said, it's painstaking. It can be quite tedious. So to have stuff like that kind of helps, I guess, in that kind of content creation world, because the aim of the game is just to put out stuff every week, pretty much, and that's how you can make it in a content creation. Like, that's the only way to do it, is if you're consistent. So to keep it fun, you have to do stuff like that.
No, it makes sense. It's nice that you've kind of merged the two together. And you've got a love of football kits. Clearly, obviously, you've got a few kits behind you for those that are watching on YouTube. So you kind of managed to double those up. You worked for, was it Retro Football Kits for quite a while? Doing content creation for them. So that sounds like a dream, Jay. Genuinely, just from the outset, I don't know obviously the ins and outs. Hopefully, you'll explain a bit more, but that sounds like an absolute dream.
Yeah, I mean, for someone that loved football kits anyway, it was a no-brainer to start working for them. And when I started working for them, they had like no online presence. The company was only like a few months old, so it was just like a fresh, you know, just blanket, do whatever you want with it kind of thing. To be fair, like I was able to learn so much just purely from them having like no rules. So they would just like do what you think's right, try things. So like I'd try something, it'd fail. I'd try something else, it would work, and like, you know, that sort of stuff. And that was wicked. But yeah, work. You know, I remember when I first walked in, and to be honest, there was a lot of not so good things about Retro, but there's some great things as well. Well, I remember the first day I walked in and like seeing all these shirts on the rails, and I'm just like a kid, like, oh my god, this is insane. I remember being so chuffed with that. So yeah, it was a very beneficial job, and I did it for like 3 years as well. So like it's helped me get to the point, like, knowledge wise, where I'm at now. But yeah, football kits is such a passion for me as well. It's such a rogue passion as well, I think. Like, well, it's not anymore, is it? But sometimes
I was going to say, it's very popular now, isn't it?
It is,
so many like influencers, well, not influencers, but content creators, are literally just, I mean, there's loads of companies popping up. You've got the shirt in a box and like mystery shirt, things like that now. So, yeah, maybe you started this, Jay. Who knows?
I wouldn't say that.
Trendsetter,
Would not say that. I would not say that at all. I just got called. People be like, "You really like football shirts?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." They're like, "All right, weirdo." And then now everyone loves them. But I definitely didn't start. There were some big people doing content, and yeah, it's just, how can you not love them, man? Look at these behind me. Like,
They
these
are nice.
three.
What's the one in the middle? Is that Spain? Is that Spain?
Yeah. That's is it 98 or 96? Yeah. 98, maybe. I love the Fiorentina one you got behind you as well, mate. That's unreal.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I think you got me this, didn't you, Ben, actually? As a little present from you.
Yeah, I think so. I did.
That is a good present, mate. You've done well.
I've literally got like 2 drawers of literally like tons of kits next to me, but I don't really have anywhere to proper hand them. I've got 2 Arsenal shirts behind me. So I've got my signed Bergkamp, my signed Henri one. I can't cover them up with other kits.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll find a space for them somewhere eventually in here. Yeah, go in. I love it.
Have you got a favourite? Probably an impossible question, but have you got a favourite kit? Is it the Chelsea one?
So I think, like, being a Chelsea fan, default my favourite Chelsea kit is probably one of my favourites, and it is that one there, the 98 one. To be fair, all three of these are really nice. This Ireland one is my favourite Ireland one. I'm trying to think outside the box for it. To be fair, I filmed a video today about my favourite kits ever, the ones that I want to get into my collection. So there's a few in there that are like England 1993 is just such a need for me. Trying to think. Cork City 1990 as well. Rogue, but that's really cool.
Oh, okay.
Joe, I'm going to Google this quickly.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's 1990, did you say?
Yeah. You know the Germany template with the flag that came across, like the geometric.
Oh yeah, I've just seen
that.
It.
But Cork, they use that template, but it just works so well with their colours.
That looks really smart.
But it is one of those
that
questions.
Looks really smart, actually.
I get those questions a lot, what's your favourite kit? And it is, like you said, it's such a tough question. I bet you lads are the same. What's your favourite kit? It's so hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, so I like some of the bold cut. I like the Nigeria ones that they've had have been nice. And is it Venezia?
Yeah,
Venezia ones.
They do some really nice kits as well. Some of the so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. But being an Arsenal fan, it's always going to be some sort of Arsenal one generally.
Yeah. Honestly, I, as a Chelsea fan, hate Arsenal anyway, but the fact that you get such nice kits, it's not fair. You get, every season you get a nice kit, you'll get a nice collection that goes along with it. Your third shirt's probably wicked, and I'm just sat there with Nike, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
The Puma years were hard, weren't they?
Yeah, to be fair, they were tough. They weren't that great then. But since you got Adidas back, it was just...
Yeah, they have been better, but I do feel... Sorry, we're going well off topic here, but I like
this. It's all good, man.
I just feel especially with Arsenal at the moment, there's a collection for each week of the year now.
Yeah, there is.
Like the varsity thing, there's this, there's a retro plus, there's a retro extra or something like that. And
I think we ran out, didn't we? We did one on train seats, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah, you did
we did.
One, didn't you?
We did.
The thing is,
what is that all about?
I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's out there, though, yeah. And that's the thing. The clubs suck you in, don't they? Yeah. And they do make it look pretty wicked. And you're like, yeah, if I had the money, I'd get that. And in the end, it's like someone gifts it to me. They're going to be plastered all over the walls eventually. And you think, what have I done? It's literally the fucking Piccadilly line. What am I doing?
Brilliant.
But no, retro football kits sounds like it was an absolute dream for you. I did catch, I think it was on the Retro Football Kit YouTube, you stand in having a quick chat with Jamie Carragher about some shirts.
Yep. It was surreal, to say the least.
Imagine.
It was, it was, so it was Masters Football. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was such a big thing when growing up, the legends playing in the tournaments, and it kind of disappeared for a bit. I don't know where it went or why it went, but they were doing this big comeback up in Scotland, and they were looking for sponsors, and they'd saw the YouTube channel for Retro, and they said, would you like to sponsor as a company? And we were like, yes, if we can get access to everything.
Okay.
And they were like, yeah, let's do it. They were really sound, to be fair. The Masters Football lads, really, really sound.
Oh, fantastic.
They offered us this package where it's we have access to X amount of players, we can go behind the scenes, this kind of stuff. And yeah, we pitched it to them, and we were like, okay, we want to meet players, of course, but can we make a video with the players? Can we get content with them? And again, they were absolutely, they were so accommodating. And yeah, we got to meet Carragher, Garcia, John O'Shea, Wes Brown.
Nice.
Stuart Downing, a few of us, Carlton Cole, just so many legends. It was so bizarre. It was such a weird day because we were filming in their hotel. So they were just cutting about, walking around, having their time. And we're just there, stood there in the corner, this is fucking mental.
Was you a bit starstruck? Was that like the first time you've met footballers and stuff as well for work?
Yeah, definitely. The first time I'd done anything like that, like first time presenting, like usually do my little YouTube videos in my room on my own, like I'm out in front of a camera, and you've got footballers in front of you. And it was the first time ever doing that. It was very, very scary. I remember sitting in the hotel before, just sat there like, oh my god, what's going to happen? Like, I can't mess this up. And yeah, but they were also like every one of those footballers were sound. Like they were genuinely so nice and so like welcoming to us. Like I think they were all relaxed because they were in their environment,
Yeah, if you're not in that sort of corporate spiel or like in the interview rooms and things like that after a game and stuff, I suppose you feel a bit more corporate and a bit more. I must say this, must say that.
Yeah,
if you're in your own, you're in your own environment, you don't care, do you? Really?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the one thing. The Masters football lads were like, they were like ushering him in and out of the room that we were filming in, and they were like, "Okay, do you want to talk to Luis Garcia?" I was like, "Obviously."
Stupid question.
Yeah, of course. They were like, "Oh, we'll go wake him up," and I was like, "Whoa, no! Like, don't wake him up to come speak to me." They were like, "Oh, it's fine." So I was like, "Lewis is going to hate me. He's going to come down and absolutely hate me because he's just been woken up." I was like, so scared. But he comes in and you can tell he's just been woken up, which is so annoying. But he was so lovely. Like he was the most lovely man in the world. I was like, I couldn't believe it. He was so happy because we're talking about their career, aren't we? Like their career, their football shirts. They get excited to do that. And he just opened up completely and told us all these stories. And we actually stopped filming and he kept talking. And we were like, no, Lewis, please.
Oh, amazing. That's the thing, though. Like, I suppose if you are bricking it up, we've interviewed, a couple of players, stuff. We met players, and I remember we went to a charity game a couple of years ago, and who was there? Was it Clinton Morrison,
Yodi Morris,
and
Raw Fox?
Raw Fox, that's it. And we sort of met them, only a quick chat, sort of after the game and stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm going to out you here, Will, because it was really funny. Just asking them for their autograph stuff, just having a quick chat. Will was scared to ask them for their autograph because he'd never been in that environment. I was like, no, mate, you've got to just ask. It's fine. It happens. But we were so nervous chatting to them. And then Clinton Morrison was honestly, what a bloke. Wasn't he? Just such a nice guy, genuine chatting away. He turned up for the game like 20 minutes late because he was stuck in traffic. And he was absolutely bricking it. He felt so bad. He apologised to everyone after the game. Like literally running around to everyone, wasn't he?
What a geezer.
He was a top guy. Yeah, he was really good. We've met a few now, haven't we? And they've all. I mean, it's just part and parcel of being a human being, isn't it? They're all just nice people who are happy to talk about their career and what's been going on. And I saw you did an interview with Yari Litmanen as well recently.
Yeah,
amazing.
That was surreal. That was probably the best for me. Like, obviously, Carragher's probably the biggest name, and he was actually really sound. I actually don't have a bad word to say about him. Like he came in, he did the interview, he gave us what we wanted. He's like, "Cheers, lads," and he was just like efficient and wicked. The Yari experience was just insane. He's obviously finished, but he lives in Estonia, so they flew me to Estonia to film these videos, which was insane. Wow. Anyway, like I'm just a lad from Birmingham and being flown to like in Estonia. I was like, yeah, okay. But like, so we had a meal with him so we could kind of break the ice, and he was like honestly the nicest bloke. Like we had this meal and then we went out to like the square because that's where we were eating, and he was like showing me around the square, like pointing out things, like giving like this mini tour. And then the next day was the shoot, and like he was just so relaxed. He was such a good person to talk to. Really nice. And then even later on after the shoot, we all went to the pub and he came and like we was watching ice hockey with him, and he's just like, he was just the nicest bloke. Like I just love that guy so much.
Yeah.
How did that one come about? Sorry, Will. How did that one come about, that interview?
Again, just the YouTube channel. So
okay,
we did it in partnership with a betting company, and the betting company just saw my YouTube channel, like me doing. They probably saw the Jamie Carragher interview. They saw that I'm into football kits, and the interview was all about football kits. Like because his collection, boys, it's insane. Yeah. He swapped it with all the players throughout his career. So he's got like Rivaldo, Overmars, like Cliver, like it was insane. Like match worn. Wow. He had a Viali Juve shirt, and I was just like. And I was like, because he had it in his like duffel bag, right? And he was like, and after the shoot, I was like, can I just see that Viali shirt? And he went, yeah, just go look through it. I was like, "What do you mean go through your bag?" He's like, "Yeah, it's fine, let's go." And I'm like gently lifting up a Totti shirt and putting it down, gently lifting up a Deschamps shirt, putting it down, like terrified to like crease them, and I get the Vialli shirt out. He was so like chill about it. But yeah, no, they saw the YouTube channel and they reached out to me.
That's incredible.
What's it like on those shoots then? Like Ben said, like I get a bit nervous with talking to big star players or former players and stuff, and it's a bit like, I don't want to like put them out. I guess do you feel that, and then you just have to put that to your back of your mind? You're like, right, I need you here, I need you to talk about this, and then we need the lighting here and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so for the Masters shoot, it was very, very, very nerve-wracking and very scary because not only had I had to interview them, but like we were kind of filming as well. Like I had a mate there with the camera, so we were kind of like directing, setting up the everything. Like it was a lot of pressure, and obviously it was like I then had to go and edit them and stuff. And like although I loved doing all that, it was just like way more pressure and way more nerve-wracking. Whereas with the Yari stuff, all I had to do was talk to him, and because there was a crew there, they set up everything, they edited everything, so it was still nerve-wracking. Like you said, you're meeting legends, Luckily, they put on a meal for us, so like I got to speak to him without a camera in his face. So that just breaks the ice instantly, doesn't it? And you speak, whole meal with him. You're just talking, chatting, having a nice time. So that breaks the nerves. And then when you sit down in the chair and the lights go, and you're like, oh my God, it's so scary. It is so scary. Like I just don't know if you'll ever get used to it, but you just switch on. Like you know what you've got to say. If you're well prepped, you know what you've got to say. The second they say go, you kind of just say it. And to be honest, I'll mumble, like I'll stumble through some sentences, and you just got to get over it and be like, that happened, carry on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get in your head.
That's the best thing to do. But like with the interviewing, I think it is on the interviewee as well. Like Yari, sound guy, easy to talk to. If an interviewee is not easy to talk to, it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, we've had one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, we've had a couple in our time actually. It's great. You get it all hyped up, and I think you get all excited, and then it's not quite what you expect, and you think maybe it's us because people don't always gel with anyone, do they?
Yeah, of course.
You've got to be open like that, I suppose. And yeah, if you're keen, then it works. If you're not so keen, it doesn't work. But yeah, never mind. Okay, so just moving on then to obviously sort of post retro football kits for you, JTFC. So that's your own side of things, your own personal content creation now. What do you cover in that? Just for the listener side, obviously I've had a look all day long. Your plays have probably gone through the roof now, just watching the same stuff over.
I wondered why there was a spike. Yeah, so kind of basically retro. I did everything for retro, and towards the end, it trying to use my words carefully. It stopped working. It didn't work, and it ended. And they were no longer going to have an online presence. That was kind of their thing. Okay. So for me, it was like, well, I put a lot of time and effort into this, and I love this, and this is what I kind of want to do. So JTFC was already a channel anyway. I was kind of covering like Chelsea stuff.
Okay,
but it wasn't like covering Chelsea. Wasn't exactly like what I wanted to do primarily. Like I'd love to do it in some parts, but not the only thing I want to do. I don't want to like pigeonhole myself like that. So when retro ended, I was like, okay, I'm just going to kind of make the content I made there on here. So I do lots of football cut stuff, like, ranking different football kits, best kits. When, the new kits come out, like that's a great season to like look at all the new ones, the Premier League and that, like always love doing that. But then also on this channel, my aim is to like get out there and do real life stuff, like go to games, document that, go speak to different fans and kind of just do as much as I can, really. Like I said, I don't want to pigeonhole this channel. Like I want it to be just my experience to football, that's kind of like the intention with it. So for me, like this channel is just going to be like football, but it's probably like 50% football kits, like that's where it is.
Okay. Yeah, stay true to your roots and what kickstarted it all, I suppose, and like lit that fire. Makes sense.
That's one of the good things, isn't it, that we've learned with this podcast is like there is so much to football. Like talking to Glove Glue, talking to, I don't know, you today, other people, everyone just loves football and talking about football, and you can just bring it all together and have a chat about football and just forget about the world that's going on around you.
Yeah. like football's meant. Football's meant, like it's so simple to say, but like it's so much more than just the game as well, isn't it? Like obviously you talk about kits and fashion, but you can talk about food and the world and experiences and different fans and how they relate to it all. Like it's all sick, and for me, it is that kind of lens to look at the world as well. So I love it, like for that reason, and that's what I want this channel to be.
Because you've travelled around visiting a few different stadiums now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate to go to a few abroad games now, both in Italy, obviously. But like that, yeah, that's the goal, to do more of that anywhere.
Yeah, that's our goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit away from that still. Yeah, I think football as a whole is just massive. We've been from journalists to content creators like yourself to ex-players to directors of football. Like everyone's got a story, and it's always different.
Yeah,
you think, oh well, for players, you think, oh, they started in the academy or they were scouted and got poached or whatever. But no two people are the same, no matter what happens. So from your side, like the football kits got you into the football world, and then you followed the team, and then it got from there. We've always supported Arsenal for as long as Will and I remember. But we started a podcast because we got quite pissed one night. I thought it'd be a good idea.
That's how all good ideas
3
come.
years later, here we are, and we still enjoy it. And we've had some cracking guests on over the years, and just
Amazing.
the knowledge and just experience is just incredible.
Yeah, you know what? Me and my mate we don't do the podcast anymore, but the reason why we started it, I feel like it's the same for you boys. The kind of what I'm giving. You do this anyway. You want to talk about football anyway, so you might as well put a camera on.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
100% could not be more spot on.
Yeah, that's the vibe, and I love that. And people love that because it's like they do that anyway. You know what I mean? So like it's like you're talking with other people. Like that's the beauty of podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why the YouTube side, you can just tell it's authentic, can't you? It's a genuine love, and people like yourself giving up your free time just to chat the same shit that you do, on your own channels with your mates down the pub. It's the same conversations. We all just bloody love the game, don't we?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so in terms of your obviously experiences, do you have a favourite stadium that you've been to?
Stamford Bridge. No,
I'm gonna go and guess here. San Siro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I knew it.
I'll do it for the YouTube viewers. I got a little.
Nice.
Oh, look at that.
It's cool, isn't it?
That's amazing.
No, yeah, San Siro it is. I mean, that's my first game abroad, and I feel like I've gone in too high, boys. It's too good. Like you get there, and it is ginormous. Like it is insane. Yeah. It's like Colosseum vibes. It's beautiful. It takes your breath away. There's nothing else around. Like it's such a flat surface around it.
Yeah,
the fans are insanely loud and eccentric, and like it is something else. Like it was so good. And you know what? It was a rubbish game, and it was like at half capacity. Like it was a Coppa Italia game. Like there was no one there, and it was still loud.
Yeah, just they would always say like the fans abroad are totally different English fans.
Yeah, man.
What is it that's different? Is it just that atmosphere, just how loud and passionate they are, or?
Yeah, they just support the game in a different way. Like I feel like we in England, we watch the game, like we're there every moment. You go man on. You know what I mean? You'll go ooh when they pass back to the goalkeeper. They're like, yeah, they're obviously bits and bobs of that, but they're at the same time they're just singing like the whole time. Especially the ultras. I was opposite the ultras at the San Siro, and you can see they don't stop. The flag's constantly waving, the drum is constantly drumming. Like no matter what's happening in the game, realistically, at the end of that San Siro game, the goalkeeper was wasting so much time for Torino, and it was like so stressful. And they were still going. Like in the UK, we'd be booing, we'd be going, like people would be leaving. Like it would start to kind of. I think unfortunately, we were a bit more negative. Whereas for me, that audience was just a bit more like keep going, keep drumming up this atmosphere, and keep like cheering on the team. I guess.
Amazing. Is that one of your favourite matches as well, then? Or is there a different match in the UK that you've seen?
Going to the San Siro, just insane. Being with those fans, like that was what made that game special for sure. But the game itself was boring.
Pants. Is there a game that sticks in your mind that you've seen over the years? I'm assuming it's probably going to be a Chelsea game, I'd imagine, but
yeah.
Something that you just go, this is the match that you just always think back to, and just think that was it.
I've got a couple. I've got two. I'll give you two. One was this season, actually. I went to Wolves away this season, and that was just insane. Noni Madueke calling Wolverhampton a shithole and then scoring a hat-trick was so sick. Like, and also like being from Birmingham, not really liking Wolverhampton anyway. Like, it was so funny. And like, I mean, the copper next to me was like, "Why are they booing Noni?" And I was like, "He's called Wolves a shithole," and the copper's gone, "Not wrong, is he?"
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? Is that most of Wolverhampton would agree.
Yeah, exactly. Like that game was just like goal, and like Wolves scored a couple, and it was like, what is this? And I think that's been like this season defined really for us. So that's like probably sticks out for me just purely because of it's like close. But another one will be at the Bridge. Juve, we beat Juve 4-0 a few years ago, and it was like all the academy kids. Like I think Mason Mount scored. I think Hudson-Odoi scored maybe. It was just like the academy kids ran right against Juve, and like we were just in the crowd, like, what is going on? Like that was amazing.
Will, do you have a favourite match you've been to?
Do I have a favourite match? I think we've spoken about this. I remember going to Highbury just before it got developed, and we moved to the Emirates. I think it was Arsenal Reading, and it wasn't similar to the San Siro. It wasn't about the football, because the football was pretty shit. I think it was the game after we played Reading. It was that, like, what was it, 6-5? I think it ended up, or something like that. That crazy game where we were 4-0 down.
7-5 one.
Yeah, yes. I missed that. It wasn't that one. It was like a boring 1-0 win to the Arsenal. But it was about that experience of being outside the marble halls, like waiting for the coach to pull up, and then seeing Wenger and get off the coach and all that sort of stuff. So for me, that was probably my best game. Yeah.
Very nice.
Sick.
Very nice. Do you know what? I'm going to be really weird. I don't think I have one.
Really?
Yeah, because I haven't been to loads and loads of football games to watch in person. You know, I had a season ticket at Arsenal for literally one season, and typically it was a season of COVID. So I got like half a season basically on it.
That's so annoying.
Like we beat Tottenham. I think it was 2-0 or 2-1. And the atmosphere, that was probably the most electric atmosphere I've ever experienced at an Arsenal game.
Nice.
Obviously, the Emirates, it's better recently, but it wasn't exactly known for its rip-roaring atmosphere. You know, we're Arsenal fans. We could be realistic about it. But yeah, when you play against your rival,
the UK can say that, mate. Like, the Bridge isn't fucking the San Siro or the Dortmund. Like, it's not loud. Like, a lot of the UK stadiums aren't the loudest. You'll always hear the away fans go, "Is this a library?" It's like they say it every single game.
This is true. Yeah, this is true, actually. Yeah, I don't feel so bad now about our fan base.
It's just like, I keep seeing it, and I'm like, you do, like, our away fans do it. I'm like, I don't know. It's just funny, and I'll be there singing it in the away end though when you're, especially if you're at the Etihad.
Yeah,
Empty-had. Yeah, we love that. Absolutely love that. Okay, so just a final one from me, and then we'll probably just chit chat anyway. But what was it like in that Juventus Aston Villa game then? Talk us through the whole experience from start to finish.
Everything. We went to Juve just over a year ago now. Me and my mate Aaron, we spun a randomizer on the Retro website, and whatever kit it landed on, that's the game we went to, and it landed on a Juve kit. So we went out there. I mean, we had the best weekend ever, mate. Like we went to the San Siro. Didn't go to a game, but we went to the San Siro. We went to Turin, watched the game there. Allianz is mint. The fans are mint.
Nice.
And then we even went to Bergamo at the end and saw Atalanta Stadium. Like, it was a wicked weekend. And the second we got back, we couldn't stop talking about it. And obviously, those trips don't come around all the time. So, we'd talk about it, fantasize about it, talk about it. And we kind of like, we always jokingly said, "Oh, we're Juve fans now, aren't we?" Like, yeah, okay, we'll watch the odd game or something. Like, obviously not fully, but, we're sort of there.
Mm.
And when we saw the fixtures for the new Champions League season, we saw that they were playing Villa at Villa Park, and it's like, hold on, could we do that? Is that feasible? let's just give it a go. And I messaged anyone I could. I put it out on Twitter. Aaron did the same. We got like nowhere, and it was like, it's not happening. It's weird. It's not happening. I probably could have got a Villa ticket in the home end and pay £100, but that's not happening. I don't want to be surrounded by Villa fans. So it was like, okay, we won't make it happen. And Aaron literally messaged me out of nowhere. He went, "We could join a fan club." And I was like, "What fan club?" And he was like, "Apparently there's a Glasgow fan club." And I was like, "Right, will that work?" And I was like,
"What the hell?"
Because I think he had the moment where he went, "We could do a fan club," and I was like, "Right." And he looked, and I don't think there's any English ones, but there's an Irish and a Glasgow one. And he reached out to the Glasgow guy, Enzo, big up Enzo, and Enzo was like, "Yeah, just join the membership." We did that like months before the game, and it got to it like a few months before, and they were like, "Right, we're going to try and get tickets to the Villa game. Who wants them?" And like literally everyone in this chat said yes, like 30 of these Scottish Italians. Which is just a wild concept anyway. And then me and Aaron, which is just out of place, but we were like, yeah. They had like 2 or 3 rounds of like tickets. He managed to get everyone a ticket, and yeah, we went to Birmingham, which is, I think, if you see the video, like I'm very baffled because I'm doing an away day to my hometown. Like it doesn't feel right in the slightest. For an Italian club, like it is such a fun, weird dilemma that I'm in. Like I went to my mum and dad's house before. It was so strange.
Yeah, soak up the atmosphere before. Yeah.
So fun. They're singing, they're chanting, like the flares are going off. It's nighttime. Like it's just, that's the atmosphere. And you know what's funny actually? Like I don't know if you see it in the video, I can't remember, but there's someone hanging out a balcony waving a Chelsea flag, and they're all going "fuck you," blah blah blah, like completely like screaming at him in Italian. I'm just there like,
yeah, go on, Chelsea.
Under my breath, like, punch out. But yeah, and like they're all screaming English animals," and me and my mate, English animals, going English animal, like giving it some, because it's like, you're just getting involved. That was genuinely the best bit, because the atmosphere you got, and then obviously getting into the ground. And I'd been to Villa Park before for Chelsea away, so like it's a lovely ground. Like as much as I don't like the club, like it's a lovely ground. Really good for a night game. And yeah, again though, the game was rubbish, man. I don't have good luck with football. I really don't. Like, you know what? I said this recently, like, because I recently went to Birmingham City to see them play with some of my in-laws, and that was a 0-0. Like, I can't avoid these 0-0s. It's really getting to me, because I go to football like as much as I can, and I ain't seen a goal in a while, boys. Like, so that game again was pretty boring, but again, same thing as the San Siro. The fans don't stop singing, like the away fans especially as well. Like they're obviously really loud, and yeah, they really gave it some, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It does sound it. There's the irony of someone from Birmingham in Birmingham supporting Chelsea, but also Juventus. It's okay, this is crazy.
Like I'm really proud of that video and the way it turned out. Like I put a lot of love and effort into it. But those you can't write those stories. Like how am I going to top that? Because like that, all of those elements, being a Brummie, seeing Juve before, watching them against Villa, like it was such a weird moment that I'm so happy I got to like do. But yeah, I've peaked.
Yeah, amazing. It's top quality, and it's on YouTube, and it's JTFC is the YouTube channel, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's probably pinned to the homepage, so yeah, you'll see it. It's surrounded by Italian ultras is the title.
Yeah. There you go. Go and have a look at that. It's definitely well worth the watch.
Thanks, boys.
So, Chelsea fan, what do you make so far of Chelsea's season?
Couldn't ask me 2 weeks ago. Couldn't Gonna ask me 2 weeks ago. Yeah, buzzing, love it. It's the best. Maresca, he's amazing. No, you know what? It's good. I think I'm quite a realistic Chelsea fan. Like at the start of the season, I'm hoping for Europa League football. You know, like I was really not optimistic, and all of a sudden we're second at one point. But the football we're playing, like even in these games, this poor run of form we've had, like we've been playing such beautiful football, and like to be honest, like it's been mint to see. Like it's obviously frustrating, and Maresca's got his flaws, but the football he's got these boys playing, and like these you know the young lads, obviously Palmer being the main one, but even Caicedo, I love Jackson, Sancho's little turn the other day, like.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing magical
that was
moments.
insane, wasn't it,
Mate,
from Sancho?
It was so nice to see. Like, I was like, I got so excited by that bit, I almost missed the goal because I was like, oh my god, like, because you know what I mean. Like, it was so. Although, yeah, recently it's been like the performances. I think just that cutting edge that we're lacking a little bit is frustrating. But on the whole, this season has actually been really good.
What was your thoughts when you were making all of these signings and you're thinking, well, where are they going to play? And then, like, Sterling goes to Arsenal, which obviously we were buzzing about that.
Yeah,
and then you get Sancho in, you think, where's he going to fit into all of this? And Maresca having to be cutthroat and saying that he's not in the team. And what did you make of all of that saga?
Mate, I was fuming. I was like, why do we need Jadon Sancho? Why are we getting Neto? Like, what is going on? Like, and we're doing all of this to put on a manager like Maresca who hasn't experienced any of this. Like, it should have failed. It's bound to fail. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I was so like annoyed, and it's you know what it is as well. When you put out like opinions like that online, and the second thing's going right, they're like, "Ha, told you." I'm like, no one's more buzzing than me that I'm right.
Yeah.
Because this is meant, you know what I mean? Like I'm getting to see this and watch this. So yeah, I was so not excited. Like this is so stupid, but the only reason why I was a bit excited about Maresca is they made this like promotional video about like Italians at Chelsea, like the managers that we've had, Conte, Sarri, Vialli, Ranieri, like Ancelotti. Like we've had some incredible Italian links. Like obviously he's not a manager, but Zola. Like they made this promotional video where it was like Italians and Chelsea, and I was like, he's the one. just fully got in with the promo, like it fully got me. But that was the only bit of time in pre-season that I got excited, because the rest of it I was just so annoyed. But I've been proved wrong, and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts for the rest of the season?
I think if we've got to be realistic, it's top four. It's like let's get top four. Let's get this group Champions League football. Also, let's get Cole Palmer some Champions League football, because that kid deserves it, and we should do anything we can to not let him go. I can't picture any club not wanting him. Like, literally not any. Like, I can't think of any club that wouldn't want him. So we need to make sure we hold on to him. So that's a priority. We've got to win the Conference League, ain't we, boys? I feel like it's such an entitled thing to say.
If you don't,
it's such an entitled thing to say, but fuck me, we've got to win that. We've got to win that.
I mean, you've won every game so far, haven't you? And
yeah, won every game.
Played 2 first teamers realistically.
Yeah,
your rest of your second or third string, aren't they?
Yeah, literally. I mean, yeah, and you know what? You can tell that Maresca doesn't even rate them, because he won't bring them on in the for the games that we're struggling in. Like, it's crazy that. But yeah, so we've got to win that, haven't we? Like, realistically, but I hate that though, because it's like if we don't, it's a rubbish season. Do you know what I mean? Like which is so silly and so entitled, especially But that competition is.
Yeah, I think it's not just Chelsea fans though that will think that. I think every football fan is kind of looking at Chelsea going, "You can't not win this."
Yeah, no, exactly.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think the other good team in it is Fiorentina. I think I'm right in saying that. So like we should be able to beat Fiorentina on our day. Yeah, I really wanted to go to the Astana game in Kazakhstan. Like I was desperate to do that, but I couldn't make that happen. It was too much money. It was too far. It's in the week as well. Like I couldn't get that much time off work. Like that was a real pipe dream. But yeah, that shout out to the lads that went to that, because that's crazy.
Yeah, fair play for getting there. And it was about -1,000 as well, I think, that night.
I was going to say it was minus like 15 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy, that game. Like it was. I think what was the stat? Like it was further away than New York is to England. Like it's so insane.
Wow, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, like it, and it was a Thursday, and I think we had a game on the Sunday. Like mental.
Yeah, you wouldn't even take anyone that's playing on Sunday at all, would you?
No, I don't think
even
they
if they're
did.
on the bench. There's no
didn't.
point. Yeah, that's mental. Yeah, that is insane.
But if you want to go to a game where you'll get some goals, I reckon Southampton away is probably your best bet.
Mate, I know, innit? I know. Yeah, that they are. Oh my god! I mean, Derby 2.0. Do you reckon? Like they got to be, aren't they?
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so.
Well, they're on 5 points. Is it 5? Like,
I think
5
it's
or 6, yeah.
I mean, you won't like this, but Ramsdale getting relegated again's fun, isn't it? Like, that's fun.
No, I can't agree with that. I love Ramsdale.
When I thought that we were going to get him, and I was like, I mean, he's better than Sanchez, like 100%.
Yeah, do you know what? I think that's your weak spot is goalkeeping.
Oh, you got 100 of them, though, haven't you? You got one for every day of the week.
Yeah, we do, but they progressively, from Monday to Sunday, they progressively get way worse. And then if the first one's Sanchez, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
I think our second keeper's all right. Jorgensen, like, he's got a bit about him, but we've only seen him in the Conference League, so it's hard to say really. But yeah, it's them in the back line. Like, I think we've got a few solid players in there. Like, I think Colwell's the absolute business. Tosin's good, I think. But then you go past that and you've got Disasi, Benoit, Badashile. They're not good. Wes Fofana's good, but he's never fit. So it's like, that's our weak spot. Like, that's where we're always getting wrong, because we can score goals. Those lads have got it in them to score goals. Like, even though at the minute they're a bit out of it, we've seen it already. It's the back line that are struggling this season.
Get Trevor back, I reckon.
I'd love it, mate.
Big
I'd
Trev.
love it. Apparently we're looking at tomorrow getting him back as well, and I'd love it.
Yeah.
Really?
Get them all back. Not Mason, but get the rest of them back. You know what I mean? It'd be amazing.
Sorry, I may be naive here. What's the beef with Mason Mount with Chelsea fans?
You know what? It's a tough one for me, because I think a lot of Chelsea fans have just gone, sack him off. But I loved him for the time he was here, and is a Chelsea boy. But I think he wasn't getting the contract that he'd probably deserve, because at the time he was probably one of our best players. He was the face of the club. Like, any kit we released, any sort of promotion, he was there. Obviously playing for England at the time, like, he probably deserved a better contract than he got. So then, like most players do, they leave, and I think if that was it'd be like, we'd obviously not like him because he went to United, but we would probably be like, yeah, it's what it is. But when he went, like his dad in the change room was like, Mason, you're home. This is where you're meant to be, at Old Trafford. Like, they were doing these weird,
really?
Yeah,
I've missed that.
Yeah, they're doing like these weird things where it's like, I've always wanted to play for a big club, and it's stuff like that. So it's just like, you're burning bridges then, and and it's tough because he left for a reason that's Chelsea's fault, not his fault. But then when he's left, he's not acted that great. So yeah, that's the bridge burnt for most of us, and I do feel that way. But at the same time, I do remember like 2019, and it was wicked.
Yeah, Joe, what? Aubameyang springs to mind for me.
Oh God, don't bring Aubameyang up.
But he was like that for us. Like, he was amazing for us for 2 years or so. Yeah, he fell off a cliff after. But then he came back. It's like, it's not personal.
Yeah,
like,
oh God, yeah, that's so cringe.
What are you doing? Like,
even for us, because we know when, like, at that time, we were just weird. Like, that could have, you were gonna beat us then. Like, why do that? That was so annoying. I didn't like him at Chelsea. I'm so happy we got rid of him.
He was only there, was it 6 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, something silly.
Yeah.
We're probably still paying his wages, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's on gardening leave, isn't he?
Yeah, literally.
Will, anything else you wanted to cover at all? I know we've literally gone completely off script for any sort of notes we had on, but it's been absolutely
it's probably my fault, boys.
No, it's been great. No, I've really enjoyed it. I don't think I've got anything to add. No, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, ditto. So yeah, just a massive thank you, Jay, for coming on.
No worries.
You guys that are listening or watching, all of the links for Jay's YouTube channels, his socials, all in the description. Make sure you give him a follow, give him a like, subscribe, watch the videos. Definitely watch that Juventus Ultras video, because it is honestly class. Like, I absolutely loved it.
Thanks, boys. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, being asked to do this and just chatting about, my stuff and football in general. I've really enjoyed it, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Guys, thanks for listening. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Like, get content with them. And again, they were like, absolutely, like, they were so accommodating. And yeah, we got to meet Carragher, Garcia, John O'Shea, Wes Brown,
nice.
Stuart Downing, a few of us, Carton Cole, like, just so many legends. Like, it was so bizarre. Like, it was such a weird day because we were filming in their hotel. So, like, they were just cutting about, walking around, like, having their time. And we're just there, like, stood there in the corner, like, this is fucking mental.